Let's call the meeting of the Fiscal Court to order. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see everybody here this morning. We have Brian Kurtzinger, our director of our ambulance service, here today, and Brian has asked that we vary from the agenda just a little and let open the bid so he can evaluate it and then make his recommendation to the court if there's no objection. We did advertise for a bid. In the paper of record that we would have a bid opening today. I think we've only got one bid, as far as I can tell here. Joel, do you have your knife, or Terry?
Do.
Huh?
Yeah, I've got one.
No knives allowed? You have one?
Yeah.
It's a hog leg. Good Lord.
Would you like for me to open that?
I don't know.
Go
The
ahead.
knife's fairly sharp.
Aiming it toward me and then like,
We had decided, and Brian's recommendation, in times past, we have done remounts. And it just was not feasible at this time to do a remount, so we did advertise for a bid. We have one bid from Osage. This is a Type 1 Ford ambulance bid proposal for Marshall County EMS. The cost, the quote from Osage is $113,960. The price is good for 30 days. Would be delivered within 150 days after the receipt of the order. So Brian, if you would, if you want to go down to my office, we have a little privacy and look over that bid and make sure they've met all of your specifications. All right. Melissa Combs. Melissa, would you please speak into the microphone, please?
Presented the judge with a copy of a resolution. Back in 2005, Marshall County, along with its incorporated cities, opted to participate in a regional hazard mitigation program. The plan was developed and adopted in 2005 originally. It is mandated that we update that plan every 5 years. It has gone through its revision. The state and FEMA have provided us with some minor modifications that they would like us to make. Those are being incorporated, and so it is now time to adopt a resolution stating that we will adopt that plan as our official hazard mitigation plan. That plan is available for your review on the PAD, Purchase Area Development District's website. If you need a hard copy of that, I'll be more than happy to provide that. The minor changes, we reevaluated our hazard list, made some adjustments. Some ranked a little bit higher over the last 5 years than some of the others. And there was some boundary changes incorporated for the cities. The county part of that did not change a whole lot. We identified a few more things that we wanted to incorporate. The plan gives us the capabilities of applying for hazard mitigation money. Without us participating in that plan, we can't apply for those funds. Because it is a regional plan, it qualifies our state for additional dollars after each hazard. So it's very important that we look at that as a regional level. So we have done that. I've provided Melanie with that resolution, and I'm here today to ask you all to review that, and if you're comfortable with doing that, to pass that resolution so that we can get that plan in place.
All right. Do we have a number on this resolution?
there are no resolution numbers.
Okay. Let me read the resolution. Whereas the County of Marshall has experienced damage from severe thunderstorms, lightning, hail, wind, or tornadoes and flooding on many occasions in the past century, resulting in property loss, loss of life, economic hardships, and threats to public health and safety, and the potential for similar loss from an earthquake. Whereas the Jackson Purchase Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan, the plan, has been updated and revised after more than 1 year of research and work by the staff of the Purchase Area Development District, the members of the Jackson Purchase Region Natural Hazard Mitigation Committees, and the representatives of the community. Whereas the plan recommends hazard mitigation actions that will protect the people and property affected by the natural hazards that face the Purchase Area Development District. And whereas public meetings were held as required by law, now therefore be it resolved by the Judge Executive and the County Commissioners of Marshall County that 1, the Jackson Purchase Region Natural Hazard Mitigation Plan is hereby adopted as the official plan of the Purchase counties and the jurisdictions within Ballard, Callaway, Carlisle, Fulton, Graves, Hickman, Marshall, and McCracken. The respective county officials identified in the strategy of the plan are hereby directed to implement the recommended actions assigned to them. These officials will report yearly on their activities, accomplishments, and progress to the Jackson Purchase Region Natural Hazard Mitigation Committee. The Jackson Purchase Region Natural Hazard Mitigation Committee will provide annual progress reports on the status of the implementation of the plan to the Judge Executive of Marshall County. This report shall be submitted to the county in November of each year. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept it, Judge.
Have a motion to accept. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the motion?
None.
All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Resolution is adopted. We have a representative of the Area Development District here, I believe. Do you have any, all the courts will be looking at this, right, Jasper?
Yeah, all county and city governments. Like Melissa said, FEMA's gotten back with some revisions that Bob Jost is the one that is doing all the work on the hazard mitigation plan through our office. He's working on those right now, so that plan should be ready to go in the next couple months or so. And this is just a resolution that y'all just passed, which is, like she said, makes you eligible for FEMA money for, you know, any type of mitigation that you'd like to do, generators or anything like that. So,
All right. All right, thank you. We have been talking for some time about the Draftonville Community Center, and I have the deed prepared for passage by the court, and then at that time the committee from the Draftonville Lions will bring it before their board. There was a condition that the Lions Club asked us to include, which we have done. It describes the property having an address of 242 Griggstown Road, Calvert City, Kentucky. Grantor for and in consideration of $1 cash in hand paid and other good valuable consideration by transferring ownership of the subject property being the full actual consideration, the receipt of all of which is hereby acknowledged, hereby conveys into Marshall County Fiscal Court in fee simple title its successors and assigns grantee, whose address is Marshall County Courthouse, Benton, Kentucky, the following described land lying in Marshall County. It describes it. The condition that we had talked about and that the Lions had asked us to include is simply, it is agreed by the parties here too that Draftonville Lions Club shall have the right to use the above described property for so long as the club is in existence. Of course, the Draftonville Lions Club was chartered how many years ago, Ray? late seventies,
I don't know, early 80s.
early eighties, and they purchased this about 27 years ago, purchased this property. It's now used by Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, community activities, Marcella's Kitchen, for many activities. And I would ask the court for your permission to sign this deed on behalf of the Marshall County Fiscal Court. Then Mr. Langston will take it before the Lions Club for their vote, and then it will be completed. Jeff prepared this, had been working on it for some time. We had left that one condition out. It's now been added back.
Motion approved.
Have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. I need Ray to take that to the Lions Club. All right. Let's move into correspondence. Yes, I'm sorry.
I got one piece of little housekeeping, and I thought I'd call Mel and put me on.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, Sheriff, go ahead.
Back when we did our budget talks and whatever, this is just housekeeping issue for our auditors and whatnot. I need my budget amended by the fiscal court, and vote done or whenever we redid that, and it's actually going to look a little different than what y'all approved in January. It's actually going to be $145,000 less than what it was in January, because we cut $25,000 out of the budget, plus we did not take any state advancements this year. So that's what this is going to reflect. And I have copies, and I just need the court to approve the amendments and get it in the minutes. That way we can get this into local government, and so that makes the auditors happy with what. I think what they're all in the second copy,
Oh.
that was signed, and that's one I'll take back and we Wilson talk. But it reflects all the changes that we talked about when we did our budget talks back in May. Yeah.
This is for fuel tanks and the narcotics.
Yes,
fund.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let me give you an opportunity to look over that. Any questions of Sheriff Byers? Emily, do you have any?
No.
Any questions from the court?
I just have one. The fuel tank project, is that on schedule now that the roof?
Yes, yeah, we're starting to get that moving this week. Hopefully by the end of next week, we'll have it all in place and ready to go.
They have completed the roof, right, Sheriff?
As far as I know, 'cause they're all gone.
Well, I've got the final bill in here. I was hoping I wanted to ask you.
We're not back there anymore.
All right, all right. Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve, Judge.
Have a motion to approve the budget amendment as presented by Sheriff Byers. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank y'all.
Is that the one you need to take back, Kev?
Thank you.
All right, moving into correspondence from the Department of Energy and Environment. Dear Judge Miller, Marshall County Fiscal Court was awarded a 2011-2012 waste tire grant for a one-time funding in the amount of $3,000 for the disposal or recycling of waste tires. I'm pleased to inform you that the record submitted by the Marshall County Fiscal Court closes the ground out officially. Thank you for your efforts and dedication to a cleaner and more environmentally friendly Commonwealth. I don't know if they're gonna have the tire amnesty day again. Has anybody been told one way or the other? We hope that we will, but we get a lot of tires out at the landfill. And Amnesty Day always, we've led the area for some time. From the Marshall County Arts Center, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony at the Marshall County Children's Art Theater tomorrow, Wednesday, August 22nd, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The new addition to the community will offer educational art activities to the families of Marshall County and surrounding areas. The groundbreaking will be held at the building site right down the hill at 1202 Elm Street. Parking is available on site as well as on Elm and 13th Street. That'll be tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. From the Aurora Country Festival, we have a request from Mr. Bob Metzger of the Jonathan Aurora Action Committee and J.W. Davis. I'll just read it. We're writing on behalf of the Jonathan Aurora Action Committee, host of the 35th Annual Aurora Country Festival in Aurora. This year's festival is being held in Aurora on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 5th, 6th, and 7th. As many of you know, this festival draws thousands of people to our area for 3 days of family-oriented fun. Our annual festival includes an antique car show, an auction, 5K run, live music, parade, flea market, honey and sorghum sales made in this area, games and rides, craft fair, concessions, and more. Last year, the festival drew approximately 32,000 festival goers. Our festival draws festival goers who come into the community of Aurora, as well as Hardin, Benton, and Marshall County in general. This year's festival will include a tribute to our first responders in Marshall County. The Aurora Festival is once again being sponsored by the Jonathan Aurora Action Committee, a volunteer organization of local business owners in the area of Marshall County. We feel this festival is a positive event which draws thousands of visitors who spend money in our area and with our local businesses. Your help in the form of a $500 donation would assist our organization with advertising costs associated with hosting, planning, and managing this event. In return for your donation, the Fiscal Court will be mentioned as a major donor in all of our advertising material as well as our website. On behalf of all the members of the Jonathan Aurora Action Committee, we would like to personally thank you for considering this request. This is signed Bob Metzger and J.W. Davis. What they're asking is a $500 contribution from the Fiscal Court.
Emily, what's our contribution fund at? I know we cut it way down, but is it at 15?
Yes, I believe it is. That's what.
And part of that's allocated for Hoop Fest, I believe, is that right?
Yes, you all discussed Hoop Fest, and I believe there's been some talk about Family Week, and
I know the Fair, Family Week, and Hoop Fest are the three we discussed, but I don't know that we allocated anything in particular. Did you all have any?
right, they're not.
I don't think there was a specific allocation for any of them, but I believe we had 15,000 in the budget.
What do we normally give to Hoop Fest? Is it 8?
5.
5?
Is it 5 for Hoop Fest?
I believe it's 75.
75, I'm sorry.
Last time, I think.
Okay, all right.
What do we usually do for Hoop Fest?
500 is what they're asking for.
I was at their meeting the other day. They're planning the festival. I mean, they'll be having it with or without our help, but it will make it easier for them, I think, to do some advertising and some things.
Wendy, where are you all at on Family Day?
We received our donation in December.
Excuse me, would you come up, please?
The donations came a little bit different last year. So we received your donation, I think, in December from taxes last year. So we're putting it towards this year's event. So we have the money for this year's event. So if we can get it again, like in the winter, then that would go toward next year's event. So we're good for this year, but next year is where we'll have that shortage.
Okay.
7,500 for Heat Fest.
Thank you.
5,000 for fair and 3,000 for Downs. So do you think we could do like 7,000 for Heat Fest and make that 500 available for
I
Aurora?
mean, I think Food Fest would take whatever we have given them 5. But we increased that to 75 a couple of years ago.
Okay. I think we all agreed that we wanted to support these types of things because of the tourism benefit, so I'd make a motion for the 500, that we make the $500 contribution to the Aurora Country Festival.
All right. The motion is to award $500 to the Jonathan Aurora Action Committee for their Oktoberfest, October 5th, 6th, and 7th. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Bob, since you was at that meeting, just a point of reference here, the sheriff's office always assists with the parade stuff and don't mind doing that, but the state has really been hard on permits and stuff. Do you know if that action committee is actually petitioned the state for a permit to shut down 68 Highway for a parade route? If not, they need to be notified they need to do that.
Okay. I'll call them. Tell them, let's find out. They didn't,
do that with Taylor Day this year and the year prior to that because it's a state highway. So
it wasn't mentioned in the meeting the other
they
night,
probably
but
are not aware of it. And I don't want to do anything to get them any hot water. And like I said, we're always there, everybody wants to help out with that. We just want to make sure they get the proper documentation and get that done.
okay.
All right. And they are getting sticky on that, Sheriff, you're right. All right. All right, let's move into old business. You've all received the minutes of the August 1st special call meeting and the August 8th regular meeting of the Fiscal Court. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes of the meeting?
Should be August 7th, I believe, shouldn't it, Judge? When it not August the 7th, on a Tuesday?
No. It's August 1st.
This one was the 7th. I think this was August the 7th.
August 7th.
I think so.
Yeah, let me see.
Yep, typo.
Well, that boy's pretty sharp. I'm sorry, there was a typo. That's, meetings
on the agenda.
should be August 1st and 7th, not 8th. Any corrections or additions to the minutes? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Motion and second. All in favor of the motion say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Contracts for uniforms. Emily, you were going to look into these contracts and report back to the court.
Yes, Judge, I've looked into the cost of the uniforms and things like that and explored a couple of different options. In bringing up that I believe that some of the uniforms we're currently using would qualify as taxable. I think we need to review that a little bit further. I can get information from the IRS that tells me what is taxable, what is not taxable, but I haven't been able to get any information from them that tells me how much to tax them at and specifically which items are taxable versus which items are not taxable. So I think that's going to take me a little bit more time. Russell, you thought that they would continue to award, keep the prices that we have on file now until we come to a conclusion?
So you want to look into this further and report
Yes.
back?
Yes, Judge. I think some of the options that I had considered were eliminating them altogether and giving the employees a subsidy a stipend to pay their own clothing, their work uniforms,
Versus us paying for
versus
it?
us paying for them. That would eliminate our tax liability.
All right. When can you think you'll have your information?
Hopefully next meeting. If not, I would say the last meeting in September. I've got a COLA conference in September that generally the IRS attends those, and I could get a one-on-one with our representative there.
All right. So why don't we just say you'll report back to us by the second meeting in September?
Okay.
Will that give you ample time?
Yes.
Is that okay with everybody?
Yes.
All right. All right, thank you, Emily. Our blacktop patcher, we first thought by using or a lease purchase, we would not have to bid. But after talking further with CAECO, our payments would be over the $20,000 bid limit, which is allowed by law. So I would ask the court and to allow Russell to advertise for a bid. He's put his specifications together. I believe you're, okay, have you got that in the paper, gonna be in the paper, Russell?
Today.
Be in today. So we'll have that bid opening, I believe, the first meeting or second. Russ, did you advertise it for the first meeting in September?
Yes.
All right. All right. We have the final, that's why I was asking Kevin if they were finished. We have the final bill from Castleberry, McGregor, and Swinford. This is the contractor's application for final payment on the roof down at the Sheriff's Complex, 911. The payment is for $25,247 to Minner Roofing Company. And this is from Castleberry and McGregor, Swinford Architects. And that will be the final payment, $25,247. What's your pleasure?
Make a motion to approve the payment, Judge.
I have a motion to approve the payment. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Just to
And-
give you an update, the last 2 hard rains we didn't leak a bit, so it's working.
That's good.
Sheriff, what is that, they advertise on television, I wanna buy you a couple of cans of it. You go around and spray, and it stops you, you can get a boat fixed with it, so. We'll have you a couple of cans down there just in case. All right. No other old business, let's move into new business. We have the first reading of our tax ordinance, 2012-06. These are the tax rates for the coming year. This is an ordinance relating to the adoption of the 2012 Marshall County tax rates, whereas the Marshall County Fiscal Court adopted the 2012-2013 fiscal year budget on the 25th day of June 2012, and whereas the State Revenue Cabinet has certified the Marshall County property assessments as real estate, $1,627,884,166. Tangible personal property, $181,918,927. Public service companies, $90,700,000. $199,558. Motor vehicles, $232,647,408. Watercraft, $24,680,786. Aircraft, $81,019. Inventory and transit, $116,883,580. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of Marshall County, Kentucky. Section 1, in accordance with KRS 62-245 through 68-249, there is levied for the year 2012 the general ad valorem tax per $100 assessed valuation on all taxable property within the jurisdiction for the general fund and such additional tax rates for each special district or other fund as indicated. General fund, real estate 10 cents, tangible 10.83. Health district 7.5, tangible 7.5. Hospital district 3.8 real, 4.3 tangible. Library district 9.7 real, 9.7 tangible. Refuse 9.6 real, 9 cents tangible. Extension district 1.8 real, 1.89 tangible. Soil conservation 0.5 half cent. Aurora Fire Protection District 9.6 real, 9.6 tangible. Gilbertsville 7.5 real, 7.5 tangible. East Marshall 9.4 real, 9.4 tangible. Possum Trot Sharp 6.8 real, 6.8 tangible. Bryansburg Draftonville Palma 10 cents real, 10 cents tangible. Elva New Harmony Oak Level 10 cents real, 10 cents tangible. Harvey Brewers 7.5 real, 7.5 tangible. Fair Dealing Olive 8.25 real, 8.25 tangible. Hardin South Marshall 10 cents real, 10 cents tangible. Section 2, in accordance with KRS 132-487, there is levied for the year 2012 the tax rate of 11.2 cents per $100 of the taxable value of motor vehicles, watercrafts registered in Marshall County. Section 3, in accordance with KRS 136-575, there is levied for the year 2012 the tax rate of 25 thousandths of 1% on bank deposits held by all financial institutions within the County of Marshall. Section 4, this ordinance shall be published in the Tribune Courier newspaper by title and summary within 30 days following the adoption. Section 5, this ordinance becomes effective upon passage and publication. You've heard the first reading. What is your pleasure?
Motion to approve, Judge.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. We'll try to have the final reading at the next regular meeting. And at that point, then the sheriff and the PVA, they're going to try to have them out by October 1. Kev, is that what they said? And we're going, if you remember what the sheriff told us in the PVA, they're going to have a new form this year. Should be easier to read, easier to handle. Yeah, so hopefully that will be a step in the right direction. I've been talking with Russell, our road superintendent, about the possible purchase of a dump truck bed. Russell, do you want to explain your situation?
Well, we got a truck that's still in.
Would you go up and speak into the microphone there, Russell? I want everybody to see you. You look handsome this morning.
We've got a truck that's still in good mechanical condition, but the bed on it's about to rust off. And if we could purchase a bed to put on it, it's possible we could go another 2 or 3 years without having to purchase another truck.
And the cost of the bed, did you've looked into it?
So if I give the figures for it, I mean, it's
Well,
under,
it's
it's
below-
under,
$80,000.
It's below the bid
Yes.
limit, so
you can get one for $98.50 or one that's got heavier metal in it for $11,550.
I think we ought to consider the one with the heavier metal, since, you know, we use.
Which you recommend, though?
I would go the one with the heavier metal in it because we could possibly, you know, on down the road, we could take that bed off and put it on another
Put
truck.
it off to another truck.
You need a motion, Greg?
Yeah, I would need a motion. That is below the bid limit. And,
Make a motion, let Russell purchase the bed.
all right, we have a motion by Squire Anderson. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries.
Judge Russell was also asking about.
Beg your pardon?
Russell was also asking about being able to go ahead and purchase the pickup truck. He's already got the funds for it. Emily said he's got the funds in his account. Do we need to give him approval to do that, or?
I thought we already did. But the question was, Russell's pickup has, we don't know how many miles, over
How many miles
three.
did that one at Russell?
Over 200,000.
And we did budget for Russell to get a new pickup, and I guess to just authorize it if the court's willing to let him go ahead and go to bid for a new pickup.
Emily said he's got the funds, so I'd make
Yeah.
a motion that he be allowed to put that out for bid, Judge.
All right, we have a motion that we allow the road superintendent to go to bid on a new pickup. Is there a second? Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. I wanted to make the court aware, and I've been talking with our senior citizen directors, our director, Jeannie Boland, along with the Purchase Area Development District. They came out with a interpretation of a federal law that said counties and senior citizen centers in particularly could no longer get advanced federal payments for their services rendered. Now, up until this year, you were able to get the advance, which kept your centers operating. They said it would be possibly a 60 to 90-day turnaround. This was what was told to us at the Area Development District. A lot of our centers, ours included, would be hard-pressed to operate because they don't have the excess funds to do this. So we started having conversations at the Area Development District. They're gonna have a special meeting, I believe, Jasper, is it next week? Regarding this, but last week, 5 of us judges from the purchase area asked Deborah Anderson, who is the commissioner for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services and Aging and Independent Living, to meet with us at the Local Issues Conference down in Louisville. So she graciously agreed and drove over from Frankfurt to sit down and meet with us. And after discussion, and we did have our Area Development District Executive Director, Jennifer Beck Walker, in on that meeting. And after a lot of discussion, it was Ms. Anderson's feeling that we could have a quicker turnaround on this money. And in fact, this month, and I just talked to Jeannie this morning, we got a 24-hour turnaround from Frankfurt to the ad district, from the ad district out to the counties. Now, to be honest with you, that hasn't happened before. But what Ms. Anderson told us, the Area Development District could use their state funds to advance these counties to keep their centers open. We, in talking with Ms. Jennifer Beck Walker, it appears there's going to have to be a change in the policy of the Area Development District to allow that to happen. Regardless, the Purchase Area Development District received a total on July the 12th and the 13th. The department fronted the PAD 2 months of state general fund allocation in the amount of $415,372. So what our position is, okay, if we have to change the policy, let's change it so that our centers can keep operating. It looks like this is going to work itself out, but there will be a meeting next Thursday at the Purchase Area Development District office, and we will be represented to try to make the policy changes that are needed so our centers can keep operational. There was only one thing that disturbed all of us judges. We had been, over the past years, and Commissioner Anderson had the figures, we had been sending back to the state what we consider an unusually large amount of money if you compared it with the other districts. And we don't really know the reason for that, because if we're sending money back, then somebody's not getting service. And we know that we have a waiting list on a lot of home care issues, weatherization issues, and other areas that involve our seniors. I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, it's just a matter that the policies that were put in place some time ago need to be reviewed. But we certainly appreciate Ms. Anderson coming down and spending several hours with us at our meeting in Louisville. That's just for your information. Let's go into our treasurer's report. Ms. Martin?
This fiscal year, I thought I would include a summary listing where I could read the account balances into record for everyone. For the month ending July 31st, 2012, general fund book balance is $234,577.54. Road fund book balance $293,304.70. Jail fund $63,996. Grant fund $6,526.87. 911 fund $170,887.32. Occupational tax administrator account $981,799.11. And the Veterans Van Fund has $2,599.43 for an entire book balance of $1,753,690.97. One thing that I would point out is that in the elimination of the occupational tax fund, not the occupational tax administrator fund, that bank statement, because interest was drawn on it before it was closed due to outstanding checks in July, that bank statement has been combined with the general fund bank statement to make a combined total of the bank balance listed at $356,959.24.
Any questions of Emily? Now I entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report subject to audit.
Make a motion to approve, Judge.
I have a motion. Is there a second? Motion and second. All in favor of the motion say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Accounts receivable, Emily.
Judge, I want to interject with I did not submit a formal transfer report. However, I do need to ask y'all's permission to move $19.19 from the occupational tax fund, that bank account, into the general fund bank account. It is already receipted into our general fund books, but I need to move that little amount of cash, that interest that was earned in July, to be able to close that account at Heritage.
All right, you've heard the request to move $19.19 from what to what?
From occupational tax fund to the general fund.
From occupational tax to general fund.
Make a motion to approve transfer.
Have a motion. Is there a second? Motion and second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, payroll fund, receivable.
Payroll fund accounts receivable report. The sheriff's department owes us $444,057.16 at this time, and the county attorney's office owed us $8,522.25 at this time, for a total of $452,579.41 outstanding to the payroll fund.
Do I hear a motion to approve the accounts receivable report?
Motion to approve, Judge.
Have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion say aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Mayor Randall Scott is here today from the great city of Hardin. Randall, I want to congratulate you. I understand y'all have closed or getting ready to close on the old library building in Hardin to turn that into a city hall.
We actually closed last Friday. We have possession of the building and we're going to get started on some renovations. I'm hoping that we can get into it before Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Very good. Congratulations. I know you and the council have been working on this along with your able city attorney, Mr. Darnell.
It took us about 2.5 years.
I understand. It was a long process that you had to go through, but I know y'all are looking forward to that.
He has some very heavy office furniture too to put in the building, don't you, Mayor?
Yeah, it was heavy to move, that's for sure.
All right. We have like a quick executive session to talk about two things, one personnel and one professional service contract. Could we go into executive session for a short meeting?
Make a motion, Judge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. So we won't have to wait. What's your findings here, sir?
Upon reviewing the bids, or this bid that was submitted, every specification in it was met. Some things I would just like to advise the court of, some things I thought were interesting, was that this ambulance manufacturer actually includes a 3-year, 36,000 mile conversion warranty from converting the body to make it match the chassis that it was set on. It also includes a 6-year, 72,000 mile electrical warranty that covers all electrical components of the truck. It also includes a lifetime aluminum module body, which that would be the box itself. It has a lifetime warranty on it, which is very, very hard to come by from ambulance manufacturers. And it also includes a 5-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the paint that's included. So this is something that's very hard to come by. Usually warranties on ambulances are usually very low years or low miles. And this is a company that we have used before. I highly recommend them. They have a good service department. They've always been real good about calling them, saying, okay, we've had this go wrong. We can send it back and they fix it free of charge, no problem. So as far as I'm concerned, I would highly recommend this bid. It actually come in a lot lower than I was expecting. I was expecting somewhere between 120 and 125. So 113.9 was a big surprise to me. I actually had another bidder that I was talking with and got him some bids, a bid packet submitted to him. I spoke with him to confirm receipt of it. He said he did get it, but he did not have time to go through it and see if he complied with it, so I didn't get a second bid from him. And he was with an affordable ambulance company. I'd never heard of them, They were a new company I'd never heard of. He stopped in and wanted a packet, so.
Yeah, we've
But-
done business with Osage, haven't we, Brian?
Yes, yes.
I thought we
The ambulance we purchased last year, and I believe we have another one that is an Osage, and they're very good because their boxes can be remounted. As Judge mentioned earlier, we've tried to do that in years past because it's like 20 to 25,000 cheaper to remount one, and the two that we're replacing in 2 consecutive years, which will be this year and next year, is an ambulance manufacturer that nobody will remount their box. So we're kind of stuck this year and next year as actually having to buy an ambulance outright. So with the court's approval, I would recommend accepting the bid from Osage Ambulance Company.
You've heard the recommendation of Mr. Kurtzinger. What's your pleasure?
Emily, did we allocate a line item for that in the
We
budget?
did,
Is that within the?
before Mark left, we had discussed, and after Brian came on, that generally we allocate $100,000 to the ambulance service equipment fund, or allocation. This year, they did not spend near their full amount last year, so that we could roll part of that in. So we budgeted $160,000 for them this year. They've spent a little bit of it, so they have $158,000 in that line item.
So we're fine, okay. I wasn't sure.
So
what
we're
the
fine.
motion was. Okay. I make a motion to approve, Judge.
All right, we have a motion to approve the purchase of a new ambulance from the Osage Company as recommended by Mr. Brian Kurtzinger, our director. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, I'd entertain a motion for a brief executive session.
Make a motion, Judge.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, be in executive session. Call the court back into regular session. We did have one personnel matter. We have suspended one of our employees without pay pending the outcome of an investigation. How long that will take, I don't know. On another matter, we had been discussing with 2 attorneys, one in Paducah, one in Hopkinsville, about representing the court since Jeff had recused himself on any matters relating to the refuse board. Lisa Carter, who is also an assistant county attorney, said that she would be willing to do that and represent us if the Bar Association allowed her to do it. She contacted the bar. They said yes, if each of the court members and each of the refuse board signed off that they would agree that she would be able to give legal advice on any matters relating to the refuse board. We all signed off. The refuse board has said they are all willing to sign off. What we're asking her to do is give us some legal opinions after research in regard to the appointment of board members, removal, or whatever else is relevant in relationship to the fiscal court and the refuse board. Hopefully, she's going to have an answer for us or some advice for us. Whether or not we take it, that's up to the court by the next court meeting, which will be our September meeting. What'd you say? The 4th of September. So that will hopefully get us closer to resolving those issues. All right. Family Week. Would you like to give us an update, please, Ms. Baxter?
I gave each of you all a schedule of events. This year we've added a lot of new events. The one copy that you have is a copy of what our billboard is going to look like that the health department uses out of their advertising fund, so they get to sponsor it because it's for the run and event. So we have Monday, which is Labor Day. Maggie's Jungle Goth, we've partnered with them the last few years to do a family day there. This year on Tuesday, we're doing a event with the animal shelter out at Mike Miller Park. We have new t-shirts and magnets and all that stuff, so we're going to sell that and focus on adoptions and have like a costume event and let people bring their animals out to be microchipped. On Wednesday, we are having our fishing event that we've had with the Clark's River Refuge for the last few years. Thursday is our library night, which we're doing differently. This year we're having it at 3 different libraries. Last year, Benton Library was so overfilled with people that they were literally in the parking lot. So we have expanded that to all 3 libraries. Friday, attend a football game or play a game together, and then Saturday is our big event with the run Saturday morning and then family day to follow that afternoon. And I know a lot of you guys will be there, and everything that afternoon is provided free because of the donations we get from the community. So we're excited about our week this year.
All right, our family week is September the 2nd through September the 8th. Would encourage everybody to participate in the family week activities. Always a lot of fun. All right. You've had an opportunity to review the bills. Do I hear a motion to pay the bills?
Motion to pay the bills, Judge.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Any other business come before the court? If not, I'd entertain a motion.
Motion adjourned.
Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.